Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome back to WWE 2K22 MyRise. And today, Wolverine's looking to move on after our first day on Raw. In the previous episode, he wants to vent his frustration, and Dolph Ziggler may just give us that. Dolph claims he dominated Raw Underground, but Wolverine wasn't there for that, but he is now. This could be the perfect opportunity to get some measure of revenge on Raw itself and the locker room. So let's do this. It's going to be a Raw Underground rules match.
The dirtiest of dogs! The show-off! And one of the toughest veterans on the entire WWE roster.
And his opponent, representing Dirty Dogs, from Hollywood, Florida, weighing in at 218 pounds, Dolph Ziggler!
Dolph Ziggler made it his personal mission to eliminate the complacency that plagues the WWE locker room.
Month after month, the preaching is the same. Dolph Ziggler truly believes no one can hang on his level.
Come on, let's go! He's truly a top dog, no doubt about that.
Here we are then, it's Wolverine versus Dolph Ziggler. Raw Underground rules match, so basically do not leave the ring. Knockouts and submissions only, no pinfall. And we can do this. Wolverine needs to get some of his frustration out. The disciples of the Messiah really got one over on him in the end, in the previous episode. If you haven't seen it, go back and have a look. It didn't end the way we wanted it to. And Wolverine's only here making one last run before he finishes off his career. So he doesn't like to be embarrassed, he doesn't like to be made a fool of, and that's what the disciples did in the end. So he needs to get some frustration out, and Dolph Ziggler, him and his mouth, have kind of walked into a situation they actually can't handle. Dolph Ziggler already going for the submission here, far too early. Wolverine is too well conditioned, should we say, to really fall for that this early in. But it's Dolph's own fault he's been put in this position. Dolph is nowhere near the level of Wolverine. He hasn't achieved what Wolverine has. And now, it's going to be time to show him that. Wolverine, off to a decent start. Ziggler did have some good offense early on. But now Wolverine is turning this match to his advantage. He's already going for the submission himself. He's got Ziggler where he wants him. Submission locked in, but Ziggler is going to find his way out of that one. A little bit too early again, I think, there. But it doesn't matter. It's wearing Ziggler down. Ziggler going for the neck breaker. Trying to get some offense going. Needs momentum on his side now. He needs to try and turn this match around. But Wolverine very quick there. Scouted it well. And taking Ziggler back down to the floor. Wolverine knows exactly what he needs to do here. And Wolverine is probably at his most dangerous when he's annoyed. When he's frustrated. And it looks like Dolph Ziggler's about to find that out. Wolverine picks him up. It's going to be brutal claw from Wolverine on Dolph Ziggler, but no. Ziggler counters the brutal claw and then comes back with his own super kick. Wolverine is down. Out of nowhere, Ziggler hit the super kick there. And he's aiming for the second. Can he follow this up? Can Wolverine avoid it? He can avoid it. Luckily for Wolverine, he managed to avoid that second one. He's still in a little bit of trouble here. Ziggler takes him down to the floor with a nice ankle pick. I think it's an ankle pick. Wolverine rolling out the way there. And Wolverine knows he got lucky. That could have been it. So Wolverine needs to get back into this. That super kick was so out of nowhere. I just wasn't expecting it. Wolverine missing there with the Superman punch. And Dolph Ziggler fighting back. Wolverine very quick to counter again though. He's got him into the suplex. Taking him down. And now Wolverine is ready. He's ready to finish this. We know what Ziggler's capable of. We've got to make sure we finish this properly. Remember, no pinfalls, submission and knockouts only. It's going to be Wolverine's revenge. If that's not enough to knock him out, we'll have to lock the submission in just to be sure. Looks like we're going to have to. What submission are we going for? No, Ziggler goes away from underneath him. Very quick to squirm out of the way of that one. And Wolverine now needs to get himself back into a decent position in this match. Ziggler really working hard to stay in this. He definitely hasn't had all the offense his way so far. Wolverine has definitely been in control, but he can't quite finish Ziggler off. Ziggler showcasing his resilience quite well here. Wolverine seems ready again to try and get the submission in. What are we going to go for? It's going to be the crossface on Dolph Ziggler. Can we make him tap out? Fighting hard, trying to make sure Ziggler has no chance of escape, and he hasn't. Ziggler taps out, and Wolverine gets some of his frustration out, shall we say. It's not all of it though. He still feels like the locker room doesn't respect him, even after all he's achieved in WWE, in his career. He's been laden with gold, but yet people still want a piece of him. And now he wants more. On social media, Shane McMahon is thanking us for giving a tribute back to the Raw Underground days, and he doesn't quite agree with facing us in the ring. But instead, Eric of the Viking Raiders decides he wants some. So, let's actually face him next and teach him a lesson as well.
Here comes devastation.
And his opponent, representing the Viking Raiders from Chicago, Illinois, weighing in at 247 pounds, Eric!
One of the toughest men I have ever known in my life. Fought back from a nearly fatal motorcycle injury in 2014 to get back in the game in WWE. Tremendous striking ability and surprising agility make him tough to prepare for it. I hope you gentlemen are ready for a brawl tonight.
This should be a Viking experience his opposition will never forget.
So it's Wolverine versus Eric of the Viking Raiders, Raw Underground Rules match. And Wolverine still has more frustration to vent. This very angry, caged animal is just waiting to come out and showcase that although he's on the last one of his career, he still has what it takes. And Eric has made a massive mistake here, trying to force Wolverine into this match. Although Eric volunteered for it, I don't think it was a good decision. We shall find out. Wolverine in control so far. What a move off the rope there. Not something we've seen from Wolverine before. So even at this late stage of his career, he's still able to pull out moves we've not quite seen from him before. It's always nice to see a change in his arsenal, no matter how small it can be. Eric really struggling to get into this match as we get some ground and pound from Wolverine. Wolverine showcasing why he has been so successful in his career to date. And Eric is just not doing it so far. Nice move there though by Eric to try and get himself back into this match. He just doesn't seem to have the speed, the wherewithal, anything really to really take any offense. Wolverine. Wolverine's still in total control. I wonder if Eric is better off as a Viking Raider, as part of a team, rather than a singles competitor. It does look that way currently. Wolverine taking him down once more. Eric is in a bad way. I don't think Eric's going to get too much from this. We can't be silly. We can't overlook him. He has warned us himself not to overlook him. And Wolverine, I don't think he's like that. He knows what he's going to do. More ground and pound again on Eric. Eric needs something out of this though, and he just can't really do much at this point. Wolverine putting Eric in the corner. We've seen this many times throughout his career. It's going to be the Berserker charge from Wolverine. Superman punch to start it off, followed by the spear. And Eric is down. Wolverine is not quite finished though. He's going to go for it. It's going to be Wolverine's revenge from Wolverine on Eric to make sure he has no chance of winning this match. Eric goes down hard with the Samoan drop. And now Wolverine is looking for the submission to finish this match off. Can we get it locked in? He's got it locked in now. Can he make Eric submit? really pushing him hard, making sure he can't get to the ropes. He can't escape. Eric is fighting hard to stay in this. Fighting really hard. And then in the end, Wolverine actually lets go of the submission. Rather than let Eric counter him, he decides to let go. That's a veteran move there. Knowing when the submission isn't going to work. Knowing when it's time to back out and reassess and redo things. And that was a fantastic move for Wolverine to know when he hadn't quite got him beaten. Wolverine on the offense again, throwing him against the ropes and again missing with a punch. We've struggled all the way through with them kind of moves, to be fair. I've never managed with Wolverine to really achieve that off the ropes move that I've been trying to do a few times and just can't make it work. Eric now onto the mat again. Wolverine's still in control and he's going for another submission here. It's the crossface. This is what we managed to make Ziggler kick out with. Instead, no tap out from Eric. He's knocked out instead straight away, not going into it. Wolverine has won again in a Raw Underground match. And Eric didn't really stand a chance. We showcased Wolverine's skill, ability, and it shows that he still has it. Now on social media, so that Shane McMahon doesn't quite want a piece of Wolverine, but after some back and forth and some baiting, Shane McMahon may have just given in. And he has. We're about to face Shane McMahon in the Raw Underground Rules match.
The boy wonder has arrived. I can hardly contain myself, fellas.
And his opponent from New York City, weighing in at 235 pounds. He is the best in the world, Shane McMahon.
Well, Shane McMahon was born with a silver spoon, but there's no doubt will take any risk to win.
So it's Wolverine versus Shane McMahon, Raw Underground Rules match. And it took some convincing. Shane McMahon said himself he didn't want any part of an MMA style match with Wolverine, a former MMA fighter. I think Shane knew what Wolverine brings to the table. And it took some baiting, but we did it. Shane McMahon is in the ring. Now Wolverine can showcase why he's still dangerous for the rest of the locker room. We know the level of respect that Shane McMahon carries. And this is the perfect opportunity for Wolverine just to say, look, I know I'm getting on a bit, but my illustrious career isn't quite over just yet. Shane McMahon so far struggling to really muster any offense. Wolverine all over him so far. Into the corner he goes. Wolverine putting him on the top rope. Seen this a few times from Wolverine. This is going to hurt. Picking up Shane McMahon and then dropping him on the turnbuckle. Shane McMahon's back must be in agony after that. And Wolverine isn't finished yet. Still just keeping the pressure on, making sure Shane McMahon can't get any offense going. There's no momentum from his side. It's all Wolverine. The top rope for Wolverine here. Going for the elbow to the heart. Hits it nicely on Shane McMahon. And straight away picks him up. He's not giving him a moment's rest. Not trying to allow him any type of recovery period. Just taking him down as much as we can. Elbow again from Wolverine there. Shane McMahon needs to do something if he's going to get anything out of this. So far, he has not looked like the Shane McMahon of old. Maybe he should have stayed out of the ring. Maybe he should have stayed in the back ring. He just can't seem to muster anything. Both men going for a move there, missing. Shane McMahon, though, bringing out the boxing skills that he's known for. But Wolverine struggling now to get Shane McMahon to stop. Shane McMahon has him on his shoulders. He's going to dump him face first into the turnbuckle there. Maybe this is the comeback that Shane McMahon needed, but no, Wolverine counters and gets himself back up and back on Shane McMahon, throwing him in the corner. We're going to go for the Berserker charge from Wolverine to Shane McMahon. And he's down. Wolverine is ready to finish this. You know Shane McMahon hasn't got much left, but Shane McMahon has other ideas. It was Weapon X was blocked there, and Shane McMahon was taken down to the ground by Wolverine after countering the finisher. And Wolverine deciding, okay, that's enough's enough. Crossface locked in to Shane McMahon. Can we make Shane McMahon tap out, centre of the ring? He's fighting it hard. He's still fighting, and Shane McMahon forces his way out of the crossface. Maybe a little early, but we thought after the amount of offense we've put at Shane McMahon, that may be it, but not quite at this point. Shane McMahon still fighting hard though. Going for the DDT there. Wolverine is down. Shane McMahon to the top rope. And out the way goes Wolverine. Shane McMahon missing the elbow. Wolverine very quick to get back on the Shane McMahon. Cannot allow him any type of recovery time. He's going to make sure he regrets ever agreeing to this. And yes, we may have baited him. But Shane McMahon needs to know when to stay out of there. Going for the submission again. He's got the eyes covered. Trying to really lock it in here. Shane McMahon's got nowhere to go, but he is going to be able to force his way out of this one. Picking the ankle of Wolverine. And back to the solid base they both go. Shane McMahon, Russian leg sweep on Wolverine, takes him down. Bit of showing off by Shane McMahon, the fancy footwork we've seen before, but Wolverine having none of it. Knocked him to the floor from behind while Shane McMahon was trying to get the crowd going. Shane McMahon is still really struggling to go. He has those moments and flurries. Wolverine though is stood here. He is ready. Got him this time. It's going to be Wolverine's Revenge. No, it's not. Shane McMahon countering Wolverine's Revenge. We're missing with the uppercut there. And Wolverine back on the offense. Again, that's two counters though and pivotal moments on Shane McMahon. He's showing his resilience. There's no way giving up. But Wolverine may just be too much for Shane McMahon. Out of all the people Shane McMahon has faced, has he faced someone of the caliber of Wolverine? I'm not too sure. But it's going to be brutal claw from Wolverine now on Shane McMahon, and it knocks him out. Shane McMahon is not getting up from that. It is a knockout, and Shane McMahon is down. Wolverine has beaten him. What can Wolverine do to prove to the rest of the locker room now? Well, I don't think he does. I think he doesn't need to prove anything. It is done and dusted. Wolverine is back on top. Now that is it for today. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this series or any content on the channel, don't forget to subscribe, and liking the episodes does help as well. And we'll see you next time for more WWE 2K22 MyRise.